have mismanaged about 2 point something billion naira or so. He approached the State High Court, and the State High Court, in nullifying that law, also nullified the indictment by the committee. And then also, if you remember, about 4 emirates was created thereafter. Those emirates also were nullified, that they didn't pass the proper procedure for creation of emirates. So the Kano state government also now immediately passed another law, the Kano State Emirate Council Laws of 2019, creating 4 emirates alongside that of Kano. That's Gaya, Rano, Karaye, and Bichi Emirate. By virtue of Section 3, subsection 13 of that law, it spells out what they amount to be insubordination. And then that section now empowers the governor to remove an emir who is insubordinate to the authorities of the state government. So but that law had not been challenged. The creation of that law had not been challenged. But whether the emir would go to court to challenge his deposition, and then the law itself, then it's something that we wait to see. Which determines subordination. Knowing fully well that the emir for some time assembly to appear before it on the 20th of March.
Okay.
But while the House of Assembly was looking into that, the state government didn't want to wait any further.
Yeah,
so
there was a rowdy session at the House of Assembly today. Let's take a quick reaction to that before we go to look at the last question.
Yes, what led to that rowdy session was the fact that the moment the House leader tabled the matter for investigation, some members of the PDP raised a point of order that for two reasons, that the matter is in court. And apart from the fact that the matter is in court, if you remember, after the last time that the House sat, the Speaker referred the allegation to a committee for investigation. And that since the committee was investigating it and report had not been made to the House, there was no need to table the matter before the House again. So, but the members of the APC disagreed. And so some members went for the maize. You know, the court had ruled consistently that if there is no maize in the House, it means that every action of the House is a nullity. So I think that was what led to the crisis that engulfed the House this morning. Until the sergeant at arms, came in to intervene, and then the House plenary was adjourned for 30 minutes.
Okay.
But the state government, not being able to wait for all of that, decided to do what they did.
Okay, let's just look at the implication, the wider implication of this decision, in your opinion.
Yeah, what all of these portends for our democracy, it's very dangerous, very dangerous. Why we are complaining that we are busy eroding our traditional and cultural institutions and values. State government also are making laws that empowers them to create, to enthrone and dethrone obas and emirs as they like. So what it means is that the only thread of democratic institutions, or of traditional institutions that is available to us, will be destroyed by our democratic governors. It's quite unfortunate.
I'm afraid we have to leave it there. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us on this development.
My pleasure.
All right, still staying with that story, a team of security operatives on Monday stormed the palace of the Emir of Kano in Kano State. This followed his removal as the Emir of Kano from office by the state government. The team of security personnel at the traditional ruler's palace included men of the Nigerian Police and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC. Elsewhere, there have been reports of a rowdy session in the Kano State House of Assembly shortly after the announcement of the Emir's removal. In a video trending on social media, Monday's plenary was when a group of lawmakers in the chamber clustered together in what appeared to be a fight over the maize in the legislative chamber of the House. Security operatives stationed at the entrance of the palace of the Emir of Kano on March 9, 2020. The mace was later taken away from the chamber by a man believed to be the clerk of the House. Sanusi's removal comes 1 week after the Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission summoned him. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, on Monday declared a 2-week warning strike over non-payment of salaries of lecturers not enrolled in the federal government's Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System. National President of the Union, Biodun Oguyemi, who read the declaration after the ASUU National Executive Council meeting held in Enugu, said the warning strike takes effect today, March 9. According to him, the strike action is to compel the federal government to implement the agreement and resolution of Memorandum of Action it had with the union from 2009, 2013, 2017 and 2019. Nigeria's Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Ehanire, says the newly confirmed case of coronavirus has no significant clinical symptoms. The minister briefed reporters at the boardroom of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital in Edo State, where he gave an update on the coronavirus infection in the country. According to him, the new case was discovered in Ogun State. He explained that the case was one of the persons who had contact with the index case, an Italian whose case was confirmed in late February. Ehanire said all other contacts of the index case in Ogun and Lagos would remain in isolation and testing would be carried out on those not yet tested, including some in other states. He reiterated that Nigeria has adopted some important response strategies at the containment stage since the outbreak in China and subsequent spread to other countries. He listed the measures to include identifying all contacts, ensure their strict isolation, and following up daily with checks for any symptoms of the disease. Away from that, bandits have again killed 8 persons in a fresh attack on Yasakai village in Bungudu local government area of Zamfara state. Yasakai village is about 20 kilometers from the local government office. The bandits, according to an eyewitness, Isa Dambuzu Mangoro, invaded the village around 2 a.m. last Sunday on motorcycles and opened fire on the residents, killing 8 persons and injuring several others. Issa further explained that the bandits were in the village on a cattle rustling mission as they carted away several cattle after killing those who stood in their way. Confirming the incident, the State Commissioner of Security and Home Affairs, Abubakar Dauran, blamed the resident of Yasakai village for the security breach. The news will continue after the short break. City authorities in Kigali have banned concerts, rallies and other mass gatherings in the capital as a preventive measure against coronavirus, despite Rwanda recording no confirmed case of the illness. Coronavirus has only been reported in 8 countries on the African continent, according to data from the World Health Organization, among the lowest rates of confirmed infection in any region globally. The policy does not extend to venues hosting smaller numbers of people, such as wedding venues, churches, hotels, restaurants, bars and sports clubs, which were told to apply good hygiene practices and supply soaps and hand washes. The government has advised its citizens against traveling to countries where coronavirus has been reported. Church authorities, meanwhile, announced that communal holy water would not be provided for worshippers to dip their fingers upon entering Mass, and that communion will no longer be passed from hand to mouth. Religious pilgrimages have also been suspended as a precaution in Rwanda. Up next is our foreign news.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. Like, no question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, no.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event
on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
The trial has opened in the Netherlands of 3 Russians and a Ukrainian still at large for the murder of 298 people aboard Malaysia Airlines flight MH17, shot down over Ukraine in 2014. The Boeing 777 went down amid a conflict in eastern Ukraine after Russian-backed rebels seized the area. Investigators say they have proof the Buk missile system that shot it down came from a military base in Russia. A judge called it an atrocious disaster as proceedings began. Russia has repeatedly denied involvement in the deadly attack on 17th of July 2014. Citizens of 10 different countries died on the airliner. We'll go to Italy now, where the government has pledged to further increase spending in a massive shock therapy to offset the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak. The country is struggling to adapt to the most restrictive measures since World War II, introduced on Sunday. Up to 16 million people in northern Italy now need permission to travel under quarantine rules. With 366 deaths now confirmed, Italy is the worst-hit country in the world after China. Coming up after this very short break is our business news. The international oil benchmark, Brent crude, which stood at $45.72 per barrel on Sunday, has slumped to $33 per barrel. Oil prices suffered a historic collapse overnight after Saudi Arabia shocked the market by launching a price war against one-time ally Russia. Brent, against which Nigeria's crude is priced, fell by $11.62 to $33.45 as of 9 a.m. Nigerian time on Monday. It earlier dropped to $31.02, its lowest since February 12, 2016. Traders are bracing for Saudi Arabia to flood the market with crude in a bid to recapture market share, according to CNN Business. Last Friday, the negotiations between the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its partners broke down. Russia, the leader of the 10 allies, adamantly refused to go along with a plan for deeper crude production cuts to tackle the coronavirus impact on global oil demand. Brent, which has been on a downward trend since the coronavirus broke out, fell by $3.84 to $46.15 per barrel as of 8:10 p.m. Nigerian time on Friday. Still ahead on Plus TV Africa News is a roundup on entertainment and sports.
Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we bring you the biggest entertainment stories and, of course, analyze them for you.
You can have both parents and still end up as a useless child. I see them every day.
Most times I worry more about where I'm coming from and where I am now, and that determines my next step.
Why are you sounding like
Alibaba
now?
Plus TV Africa, we're feeling good. No time to dull, everybody feeling alright.
Make music and people are still buying. Sometimes I look myself minimal IU.
Akpala music is for mature-minded people. I got DMs sometimes from Malawi like,
Sleeping early.
And in entertainment, the American Film Institute is postponing its 48th annual AFI Life Achievement Award Gala due to fears surrounding the ongoing coronavirus outbreak. The organization had planned to honor the Sound of Music actress and singer Julie Andrews with its Life Achievement Award in April in Los Angeles, California. However, the event is expected to be rescheduled to early summer as concerns grow surrounding the illness, which is wreaking havoc with several large events worldwide. AFI's decision to postpone the event is simply in response to the rapidly evolving nature of current events and their promise to ensure the well-being of the artists and audience that gather each year to celebrate America's art form. They said this was confirmed by the AFI CEO and President Bob Ghazali. Worldwide, more than 106,000 cases of coronavirus have been registered, with more than 3,600 deaths. That's it on entertainment. Sports news comes in after this break. The Champions League round of 16 tie between Paris Saint-Germain and Borussia Dortmund have been ordered to be played behind closed doors. This comes after the French government placed a ban on gatherings of more than 1,000 people following the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus in Europe. PSG said in a statement that they are fully committed to ensuring that the match will go ahead as planned in the best possible condition. The game is the second of the competition that will be played without fans, as Valencia earlier announced last week that their second leg tie against Atalanta would be played behind closed doors. Barcelona's return leg against Napoli next week is also in doubt, as the Barcelona City Council have also moved the Barcelona Marathon from March 15th to October 25th due to coronavirus. Matches in Italy are being played behind closed doors until April 3rd as a precautionary measure. And that's it in sports, and wrap things up at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines, so please join us again. Thank you for watching.
You've probably been hearing a lot about the new coronavirus, COVID-19. It's a member of the coronavirus family, and this strain is one that has never been identified up until 2019, December 2019. This illness or this disease has been known to cause a severe respiratory illness that could potentially lead to death. But most people who are infected with the coronavirus, they can have symptoms that are quite mild, or they can even be asymptomatic, meaning they may not even exhibit symptoms at all. The virus is essentially caused by respiratory droplets. So what does that mean? When you cough and sneeze, there are various particles that come out of the mouth, that come out of the nose. Those droplets are what become infectious with the coronavirus if somebody does have the coronavirus. So when you come in contact with somebody that's coughing or sneezing and you touch any of those droplets or breathe in any of those droplets, once you have that contact with the infectious droplet, that is what can potentially infect you with the coronavirus. So the issue with touching your face frequently, when we do that, you don't really know what you're touching at all times. When you're touching surfaces, when you're out in public transportation, when you're out with your friends, when you're out with your family, if anyone is infectious and sneezing, if you are touching any of those surfaces that are actually infected with any kind of infectious respiratory droplet, when you touch your face, there are various areas of the face that if you touch the mouth or the nose or the eyes, you can potentially infect yourself with some of those virulent particles, and those can be areas in which you can actually infect yourself easily with virus. Prevention at this point is what is really key. So the first thing that you need to do is adhere to strong hand hygiene practices. What does that mean? Wash your hands frequently. Make sure if you've been around people that are sick that you're continuously washing your hands, using a hand sanitizer.